Submission, initialization screen. Send submissions are done either by the sponsors and designated advisors on behalf of the equity issuer and any other type of issuer, or by the debt, ETF, warrant and interest rate issuer itself. The user submitting the announcement must make sure that he has a valid SENS token before the submission process is started. The user can either select to use the token from the token screen, in which case the new announcement initialization screen will be opened, or the user can click on Submissions and then Sends from the main menu. The user will then also be presented with the new announcement initialization screen. The purpose of the screen is to add the information of the company or companies on whose behalf this announcement is being made. Depending on the user accessing the new announcement initialization screen, the issuer role, exchange, and issuer name field might be pre-populated. If not, the user needs to select the type of role from the drop-down box in the issuer role field and then select the exchange from the drop-down box in the exchange field. The user will click on the Show Issuers button. The company name drop-down box will be pre-populated based on the information selected in the issuer role and exchange fields. The user will click on the down arrow to the right of the issuer name field and select the relevant company. The user will then type the token in the token field and then select Add Issuer. The selected issuer details will be populated in the issuer's details grid. The user can add up to 5 companies in the grid. The grid will display the CR-ID, which is a unique number for the company in the JSE database, the name of the issuer role, and the exchange on which the issuer is listed. Underneath that, the system will display a list of all the instruments that this issuer has listed on the relevant exchange. Each instrument will be reflected on a separate line in the grid. The grid displays the instrument long name, the alpha code, the status of the instrument, the current ISIN number, the future ISIN number, if relevant, and the effective date of the new ISIN number. The last column in the grid is called Dual Listed. In this column, the user is required to indicate whether the instrument is dual listed or not. The default will be No. The user will select the instruments for which he wants to make an announcement. One or more instruments can be selected by clicking the checkbox on the left-hand side of the instruments. If the user wants to select all the instruments, the user needs to select the checkbox next to Instruments in the heading. The user can remove an issuer by selecting the issuer in the grid and then click on the Remove Selected Issuer button. The issuer and its instruments will then be removed from the grid. Please make sure that the information on the screen is 100% correct. Once you have clicked on Submit, you cannot come back to this screen. Once you are sure that you have selected the correct issuers and instruments, you can click on the Submit button. The system will ask confirmation that you wish to continue with the submission. Once you have clicked on the OK button, the system will then create the instruction with the various tabs to be completed and will allocate a number to it. All the information on the relevant tabs must be completed before the instruction can be submitted to the JSE for processing and dissemination. The different tabs will be discussed in detail in the separate modules. Remember that while you're working on the initialization screen, before selecting Submit, nothing is saved in the system. Once you have selected Submit and the number is allocated, you can log out of the system, and when you log in again, you will be able to access the instruction. The next video in this series is Submissions, Activity tab.